And I just have to say this to everybody, that not only are you a brilliant warrior mum, you are a big campaigner. You've got all of our backs. You're out there fighting the Congress people. And,
yes, I do.
And you really go for it, and we really appreciate that, because it's so important.
And you know, I really encourage people to keep doing it, because I talked to Tamara Barringer, one of co-authors of the bill for North Carolina, the 346. She was a co-author for the forced vaccines bill. I talked to her. I took my son with me, and I took all his labs. And she basically told me that she's never ever going to put her name on any vaccines bill ever, because she basically got fed up from us. She couldn't take it no more. So I told her that it's better that she is deciding doing that, because we are going to give her a fight if she will.
You don't want to mess with this, Mama, do you?
Well, there's plenty other politicians that are probably come back behind them to take their place for pushing this stuff.
Yeah, well, but the people is growing too. Numbers are growing. We are growing.
So,
And we are not going to let this happen again. You know, forced vaccines is not happening. Can be happening in North Carolina, at least in North Carolina.
No, you're right. We got to keep growing. We got to keep.
Numbers are growing, and you know what? People is coming out of the hidden.
And let you know, we did buy the movie Vaxxed after we saw it. We saw it like about a month or two ago, and we bought it, and we are letting people to see it.
So I am a
Get it out
TA
to friends
in
and
primary,
letting them see it, just to.
and I'm
get
letting
the
the
word out.
kindergarten teachers taking the movie. So I go, can you watch? You know, this is a documentary. Take it home and watch it. Do you need 2 days, 3 days, a weekend? And I have been able to have all these kindergarten teachers take the movie and watch it.
I'm going to give you a couple more copies so that you can continue
No.
to do that.
Mhm. He starts looking. The dog starts looking for cats when he makes this sound.
Okay, well, you know
Well,
what?
that's Alan's story.
There's a purpose for everything. Okay, so your name is Alan.
Yeah.
How old are you?
7.
And you're
Oh, it's 8.
You're 8. And your speciality is cat noises. There we go.
Yes or no?
And then this is Mommy and this is Daddy. Okay, so tell us the story of what happened.
So I'm Lorena, and I used to take my son, obviously, on time and on a schedule, and I never, you know, separate the vaccines at all. I have no issues whatsoever with vaccines. So what happened is, after the MMR, he started having absences, and he would go like this. So I
Wait,
talked
do
to
that
him.
again. I'm going to enlarge your face.
Okay. He was like having you know, electric things. So he was going like this, and he used to be absent, like lost in paradise. So I talked to the pediatrician about it, and he told me not to worry about it because all babies make funny faces. So I bought it, and 3 months later we went for the DTaP plus others. It was like 7 shots, I think, that day.
Oh
And
my God.
the same afternoon, he was a different child. They switched my son. So from that point, he started rocking himself. He started staring at the window. He started tiptoeing. He used to cry a lot just by hearing his father's noise. He used to cry because of his shadow. He all the time was acting like he was seeing ghosts. Like he was like anxious everywhere. I mean, he was really, really bad. Of course, we start having diarrhea or mushy poop. He used to be constipated 3, 5, 7 days. We went to see an expert, a gastro expert, and he advised me to give him Miralax. He didn't seem to be concerned at all. When I said, you know, my son is he can go without poop for 5 days, 7 days, he said, well, it's not too bad. I said, how can that be bad? I mean, can you imagine? So I realized in that moment that I was alone, that nobody was going to help me at all. So I went on Google and I was trying to find info, and I came with some Hispanic information. And all of these people,
Spanish.
all of these people were saying that they happen exactly the same to them after the vaccines. So from that point, I started researching. I introduced by myself a protocol for him, and I did a lot of things like I changed his diet, and I was really, really strict. And when that happens, he stopped the tiptoeing and he stopped the humming, and he obviously regressed on his language. He lost. So my husband told me, "Have you realized that he doesn't talk anymore?" And I say, "Yeah." So all this happened after the vaccines,
And you
and
can walk.
and I started doing all these changes and all these supplements that I was given, and even my husband was against it. He was, "Ah, you're going to kill him." So anyway, I had a conversation with the pediatrician, and I asked him questions, and he couldn't answer the questions. He couldn't. And I said, "How can you tell me to have my son be up to date to vaccines when you are unable to answer these questions for me? And I'm getting my information from other people on the internet. And this is not, random whoever. This is another doctors. They are sharing their opinion. And how can you say nothing about my questions, straightforward questions? How can you be okay with me keeping with the mercury, keeping with the aluminum, keeping with formaldehyde and all this stuff?" So he couldn't answer for me. He gave me 45 minutes of his time, even though when you go for the annual checkup, they give you 10 minutes. It was so important for him to talk about the vaccines, to convince me to keep doing it, that he gave me 45 minutes. So I ended up obviously getting somebody else. I stopped vaccinating, and I never will. And from that moment, I became aware from the cause. And what happened is, if autism is genetic, why I could be able to recover my son? Why it was a point that our lab tests start getting normal, better. Every time, every year, the results are normal, are better. Why? Isn't genetic? So why my son recovered
somewhat.
most? I would say most. And now my son, he knows about what happened to him, and I'm educating him so he can protect himself, because he's going to listen that vaccines save lives, vaccines are good. He has to know the truth. He has to stand for himself and say, "Not for me. You can do whatever you want, but not for me." So that's our story.
So they're asking what you did to recover him.
Well, I introduced nasal B12. When I did that, the abscesses stopped.
Gluten-free diet.
Diet's
Dairy.
key.
Diet's key.
So he's still on the diet.
Sometimes we break it,
A little bit.
but
You have enzymes.
the bottom line is when we break it, you don't see that he goes backward. See? So
You may get constipated.
every year he's getting better and better and better.
He looks great to me. Thank you
You're
Thank you so much for telling a story.
Thank you, Polly. Thank you, the team.
Joshi! Go say
There's
with
a
me.
reason I'm on the bus with you, because you inspire me. I would do anything to hear my little boy make any kind of prompted noises.
Politicians, thank you, ma'am. Politicians need to hear your voice.
They don't.
They need to know your face.
They only know about money.
Steven,
that's
no, you
campaigns,
haven't been in the
it's
fight.
still
Please don't say that.
failure.
No.
Well, it's
I
still-
have been making phone calls. I've been
Money
sending
talks to
emails.
them.
My
That's all.
English is not perfect. I made a lot of mistakes, and I don't care. And guess what? Maybe
the proof is right beside
maybe
you.
that's the thing that called their attention, because they wrote me back. They called me. They contacted me. So, Mom, they need to see your face. Go to them. Talk to them. Write to them. And they need to hear your story. Don't stop.
God doesn't waste worries and tears. Everything can be worked for good.
Exactly.
And if this, I appreciate what you guys do. You guys are, it's not easy to be that voice speaking the truth, especially when everything that's in power fights against it. People want their pockets full.
No, it's my wife. She was talking to me. I mean, I was really stubborn, and I didn't want to hear this stuff at first. As far as what's happening, that I was, we were kind of like fighting
Cognitive
cats and
dissonance,
dogs at
yeah.
first. It says, it's like people get raised their whole life thinking, oh, vaccines, doctors, they all are guys, you know, they're all
Trust.
yeah, they're trust and they know what's best, and it's not true. It's not true. But you know, she had to convert me of the way my way of thinking is, but I'm telling you, I have 8 other brothers and sisters, and not one of them, I doubt if one of them even believes what I say about this stuff.
Right.
And you know,
People don't tend to care until it affects somebody that they know and love personally. When it's your child or your grandchild, then all of a sudden it's interesting.
and my
But thank
youngest
God for people that care beyond that.
my youngest brother, his wife just found out that she is pregnant, and I'm trying to get them the movie for them to see it, give it to them, and they don't even want to see it.
My cousin.
This is your brother.
My
Yeah.
youngest brother, the baby of the family.
Yeah.
Do they not believe
So
what happened to your boy?
he bought the
No.
movie basically to give it to him so he can watch it.
They're freaking
And
brainwashed
they are like,
to the extreme. People are brainwashed to
It's
the extreme.
cognitive
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
that
it's
in my
cognitive
immediate family as well, and it's also hurtful.
Yeah,
Why
they-
would we make it up? Why would we make
Yeah,
it
right.
up? And if your own family doesn't believe you,
No.
well, Sodom, we're your new family. Welcome to the family.
Oh, yeah.